Getting ready for another tough day. These members of the Young Social Democrats are seeking new recruits on the streets of Berlin. But persuading other young people to get involved in politics isn't easy. Many feel if you want to make a difference in society, politics isn't the place to start. But Kevin Kühnert is here anyway. He believes passionately in what his party stands for, but sometimes he wonders whether everyone in the party shares his ideals.
These days you find that the people who get the furthest in politics are not necessarily the ones with the best ideas, but those who are the best at networking.
The political cronyism so common in many of the parties is particularly off-putting to young people wanting to make a contribution to society. The SPD uses the latest technology to attract new members, with some success, but few appear interested in a career in politics.
I'm an SPD member, but don't want a career in it.
I'm still studying at the moment. I'm looking forward to working, but not in politics. It's all too dishonest.
It's just a talk shop. That's not for me.
The acute shortage of personnel prompted the SPD to open a leadership academy 2 years ago designed to support the party's up-and-coming politicians. It offers just 6 workshops a year. So, has it helped? The SPD's General Secretary, Hubertus Heil, himself just 36 years old, was unwilling to talk about it on camera. Other parties are at least happy to discuss their efforts to recruit young leaders.
We have a very sophisticated training concept, not just during election campaigns, where we invite young people to come along and get to know us, and to stay, be it full-time or in some kind of political function. We offer support programs, mentoring programs, where we provide the opportunity for candidates to gain access to the top levels of politics.
But analysts say such support programs alone are not enough to rejuvenate the party. Instead, they serve primarily to channel up-and-coming members into the existing structures.
Especially in the larger parties, you tend to get the career politicians. So people join the youth organizations relatively young and then have to conform to a certain extent in order to have a career in the party. The biggest problem with these kinds of people, where politics is their career, is of course they can't just leave later on.
Peter Gauweiler of Bavaria's Conservative Christian Social Union believes it's a dangerous trend. A lawyer and a political rebel, he's supporting a first-time candidate for September's federal election. He's advised the young politician not to sacrifice everything for his career.
We shouldn't leave our opinions outside, like you hang up an old hat in the cloakroom before you come in the room.
Gauweiler believes voters should be allowed to decide directly which candidates climb the party ladder. He says the current structure, dominated by the party leadership, has helped foster conformism.
Of course, none of that really inspires people, where things are just served down from the top. And despite all the fine talk about democracy, you find you have no say in things. And we need to turn that around. We need to open up the candidate listings again. We need to have primary elections and decide on the top candidates ourselves.
The Young Social Democrats in Berlin are concerned that if the party can't find more young people willing to take on positions of responsibility, the divide between party and people will grow.
If that were the case, I would be very worried. As a normal citizen, I would have a problem linking myself to a party full of aging men in suits. The parties have achieved such a lot generally, and that would undo so much. That is, of course, something that has a negative influence on the political culture, which also restricts the ability of the party to take on new things and to take new developments in society and incorporate them into the party relatively quickly.
The SPD, like many other parties, is very much aware of that growing divide. More and more people say they're disillusioned with politics, even with national elections just around